one. So, I'm sure this topic has been covered before, but as you've clicked on this, reading the title, this is my invitation to you to also vlog about your top 5 films of all time. Any genre, any language, age, anything. So I'm going to start. I may have to stop and start this video again because I may not be able to remember all of them. In no particular order, these are. These are just 5 of my favourites. I'm not going to chart them. Or maybe the absolute favourite. At the first one is, now this is controversial among the community of fans. It is Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith. And yeah, I can hear you all gasping in horror as you hear me say that. But for me, personally, I wasn't that big of a fan when I was a kid of the whole Star Wars saga. And it wasn't until the prequel trilogy came out that I properly was aware of what Star Wars was and all that stuff. And the reason why I like it the most, even though some of the acting in it is absolutely dreadful, especially Natalie Portman, my favourite part about it is you've previously seen Anakin's, oh spoiler, you've previously seen Anakin's parents, mother die in his arms pretty much. And it's just the transition or the descent of what was supposed to be, you know, the chosen saviour of the entire universe descend into the most hideous, evil villain the film world has ever seen. And for that reason, I like that. I like the progression where you see him start to turn and his eyes change colour and all that sort of stuff. So that's why that one's my favourite. The second one, like I say, these are in no particular order. The second one is The Goonies. This was a childhood favourite, although it's older than me, I think. It's one of those kind of, I don't know, I'm not going to say coming of age because it's not, is it? It's like you want that bond between you and your friends. You want to go on an adventure like they do, plus the comedy thrown in there, and it's just a really easy, feel-good film to watch, and it's just brilliant. And if you've not seen it, why haven't you seen The Goonies? Go and see it. Which brings me on to another thing. There's a band called Set Your Goals, and they have a song called Goonies Never Say Die, and it is classic, so you should listen to that also. And a third film is The Dark Knight, Christopher Nolan's second Batman film, obviously starring Heath Ledger in his last full acting role as the Joker. And I'm not too clued up on films and acting performances, but for me that is possibly the best acting I've ever seen in that film. I remember going to see it in the cinema. I think it was like my first or second date with the She-Wolf. We went to see it, which is also another reason why it's so high up. And just the feeling of how you feel so uncomfortable while he's just one-on-one with the camera, especially when he's in the interview room. A friend of mine was a film student, and he actually pointed out to me that in that point there, how he's just got the black background and there's nothing behind him, and he says you really are all alone, or I can't remember the exact line, but that's to really make you feel alone and uncomfortable and intimidated and scared of this person. And I'd say out of all the comic book type films, Batman is one of my favourites purely because it's so dark. It's not brightly coloured, cheesy type of film that you get with, say, Iron Man or Captain America. It's really dark, gritty, slightly perceivable. You can actually see maybe something that happening a bit more realistically than something like Iron Man or Thor, especially Thor. Number 4, which is the most recent, is The Revenant, which was released this year with Leonardo DiCaprio, which is the one he won the Oscar for. And that film, I think it's the most visually striking film I've ever seen, purely because of the scenery that's around, and also the performance of DiCaprio. Now, a lot of the film buffs say that it's not his best performance, but I thought it was incredible. The fact that he doesn't have to say hardly anything. I think he says like a total of like 100 words or something during the film. During like a 2.5 hour film. That's testament to how good the acting is of that part. For me, it gave me a real insight into what it was like living in that kind of time where the men would have families and they'd just leave across the country or even across the Atlantic and work for years and years and try and just get enough money to send home. I mean, I know that still kind of happens now, but they were essentially living off the land. Everybody was just shut up and they paid attention to what was happening. But definitely one of the best films I've ever seen. And number 5 is my favourite all-time film. "17 Miles Per Hour", come on. The guy's flashing me for doing 17 in a 40. Yeah, there was a point in time when I was a kid that I made my parents rent this film every Saturday night. I mean, every Saturday night for a good 6-7 months solid. How they had the patience to do that, fair play to them. I'll take my hat off. But yeah, I think it was 91 this film was released, starring Mike Myers, and it is Wayne's World. And I think that's kind of what set me off the road onto my kind of rock, heavy metal music, well, love of rock and heavy metal, anything that isn't pop music. And yeah, it's just a stupid airhead comedy. It was the start of Generation X in America with, like, well, just before Nirvana were about. Once again, if you've not got it, I'm pretty sure it's on Netflix, or if you've never seen it, I think you can even pick it up in the supermarket for like $5 with the second film, which not so good, but it's still funny. It's just, oh, it's so funny. I think I could at one point almost recite the whole film line for line.
Swing!
That's right, I'm a mind reader. It's just so self-aware. I think they call it breaking the fourth wall, where the character talks to the camera or addresses the audience.
Let me bring you up to speed. My name is Wayne Campbell. Ah, the Mirthmobile. This is my best friend, Garth Algar. Hi.
It's a standalone comedy of its time. It just has me in stitches every single time. And as I got older, you start picking up on other jokes, and it's just, oh, it's so funny. In fact, I think I may watch one of these films tonight. That's my top 5 films ever to date. If you want to do one, that's great. Tag me in it. I'd love to know. And I will catch you all on the next one. Cheers!